Well, tonight we're going to talk about retention and referrals, and I'm going to turn it over to Mr. Paul Archuleta to talk about retention.
All right, awesome. And thank you, Miss Karen Irish Borrego, for that. And as you guys can see, I'm back in New Mexico with my background. Just kidding. So yeah, we're going to talk today a little bit about retention, but the easy part for me is that I really don't have to reinvent the wheel. So I'm just going to go right to the shieldnation.com, and we're going to talk about the R3 system. And there's our other fearless leader right there, Darcy Hoffman. And so you can see that with the R3 system, as it says there, you can increase your business by 300% by just using this very system. And it says tens of thousands of dollars. And I'd be willing to bet that it's actually even higher than that. Do we lose a lot of business by not asking for referrals? And so I think a lot of times the reason why we don't ask for referrals is because sometimes you get really excited for the that you got the sale, and you really don't want to overshoot the mark. So you think, you know what, I think I'm not going to ask for referrals at this time. And by a show of hands out there, you can go ahead and come off of mute if you'd like. How many people like the cold market? Just kidding. Nobody likes the cold market that I know of anyways. Everything's better warm, unless you're in Puerto Vallarta. It's not as good to be as warm, even though that was an amazing trip. But one of the things with the referral market is that you're going to be getting a lot of warm leads. In other words, these are people that are going to be referred to you. So let's just read straight from the site. So you want to ask, as it says there, ask for 3 referrals after every presentation. That's where the R3 comes in. And then the first question, you should all write this down, so commit it to memory. And you can always go to the website, which is great that we have this right at our fingertips. So as I mentioned, I don't have to reinvent the wheel. But you can ask somebody, who do you know that can benefit from our service? So we all know people that can benefit from the services on the personal level and the small business, on the small business side. But you can always ask somebody who they also can think of that can benefit from that service. And then you give them a chance to respond. A lot of times we just say too much. I was doing a little training today, and one of the guys that was in the virtual training, he said, what really is hard for me with Legal Shield is that what if I don't know all the facts? You know, I'm kind of afraid that somebody's going to ask me a question that I just won't be able to answer. And the thing is, that's kind of the paralysis of analysis. I'll be honest with everybody on this call. Even John Hoffman himself probably doesn't know everything. And so a lot of times, if you're waiting to know everything, you're just going to be bogged down in the minutia, and you'll never be able to do this business. And so what you want to do is just be able to ask for referrals, because remember, if you make that personal connection with people, they're going to refer you, because people will refer people to 3 different types of people, right? People that they know, people that they like, and people that they trust. So if they know you, like you, and they trust you, then they're going to allow you to lead them, and they're going to give you those referrals for personal and small business. And it doesn't matter how many facts that you know, if they don't know you, if they don't like you, and if they don't trust you, they're never going to give you any kind of referrals whatsoever. So just got to keep that one in mind. And then on the solution side, okay, number 2. So what companies do you know that care about their employees? And I think I mentioned this in the last call. One of the things that I've shifted in when I'm doing with my brand new person, I'm bringing them on board on my onboarding, is I mentioned the solution side. It's not so much that the person is going to want to do solutions, but what I always mention when I'm talking to them is when we're kind of game planning, I say, you don't even need to touch solutions at all. But if you know a field trainer, you're actually talking to one right now, but every single state will have one. Would you be interested in an extra $500 in bonus money with working on the solution side, or do you want to skip that part? And like 9 times out of 9, when you bring it up that way with your new associate or new person that you're asking for referral, they're going to say, no, I'm $500. Yeah, and I'm going to help you with that, or the field trainer in your region or your state will help you with that. But what we need to do is think about a little bit more on follow your dollar. Where are you spending your money? What kind of companies or where have you worked? Did you leave a good name at the places that you worked? Or did they get the pit bull and the shotgun when you mention your name? Stuff like that. But you can, a lot of times, I know when I first started in Legal Shield, I missed this part quite a bit, and this is about 80% of my business, but I would miss that part because I would think to myself, well, not everybody wants to do business solutions. Everybody in this call and should be taking business solutions schools, group school. It's free and it's online and it's a great place to, but also the system is so simple that if you just work with let's say a field trainer, and you come up with the follow your dollar list, chances are you're going to stumble across a group, and that's an extra $500 for your new person. So that's now built into my language. I always ask them if they want to take advantage of that. So when you're asking for referrals, and we're talking about both recruiting and when you're looking for companies, you can always ask them, who do they know? Do they know anybody that would be open to, or that they care about their employees to hear about a benefit, a use it now benefit, something that they can kind of benefit from right away? Because everybody already, everybody always thinks that they have, insurance up to their ears. They got the life insurance, they got the Aflac, they got the Colonials, they got every kind of vision, dental, and health. But you can also say, well, the company that you worked at, did they offer a legal program or an identity theft program? Most of the time, no. I work for the 5th largest school district in the United States, the Albuquerque Public Schools, just because they won't break it down any smaller. It's the 2 ivory towers, and nobody can make any kind of decisions. Like, who wants to make a decision about buying toilet paper? Well, then you have hundreds of people making that decision on the board. What do you think happens? Well, something bad, because nobody can make that decision. Like, do we buy? Well, I know a guy that sells toilet paper. Well, let's just go to Sam's Club. Let's do this. And by the end of the day, it's like I'll just go buy my own. I don't want to go through this. But the same thing here. Wherever you work, think about it. Did they ever offer anything like this? I know my companies never have. I've never worked for any company, so the opportunity to ask for referrals in our market is unheard of. So you always want to keep that in your language. And then number 3, who do you know that would like to help people to make more money? We all know people that would like to make more money. And if it didn't interrupt your already busy schedule, our business is designed for busy people. So you want to be able to ask that question. Who do you know that would like? That's a great recruiting lead-in question to ask for referrals. And you're not talking directly to the person. So you're kind of talking through them. So it's not really awkward, because they may say, well, what about me? What about, I would like to make some extra money. Who do you know that would like to make an extra $500 or $1,000 a month extra without interrupting their already busy schedule? They may say me, or they may say, I know a few people. I know a John Hoffman, I know somebody that, could stand to use some extra money. And never, ever, ever prejudge. You never, ever, because remember, a dud can always lead you to a stud, as they say, or a studette, either way. But you just never know who they know, because everybody's related to somebody, right? Somebody might be related to a Karen Irish Borrego out there, or an Erlen Lewis, or somebody out there that's going to be successful in our industry. We never ever know. Or the Gwyneth Lewis. There you are. Hi, Gwyneth. But you just never know when somebody is going to know somebody that would be looking for an opportunity. And so you definitely want to do that. So the R3 system is just an amazing way to be able to share that. I'm gonna read the facts just so you can hear this. So customer advocates are the heart of any successful growing business because they help you send referrals for free. So here are some research to demonstrate why customers advocates are so important to successful growing business and why it's imperative to teach the referral system to your team. Don't you want your customer friends and families coming back to you? Yes. And our customers naturally will share Legal Shield and the benefits for the hard work of sharing and building the business throughout the referrals. So again, remember, think of your own self. If you were opening up a tire shop or a restaurant, a good restaurant, or anything, in this case, a Legal Shield business, the last thing you want to hear, and anybody would like to hear on this call, would be, by the time you've got your courage up to ask for referrals, that they say, you know what, I ran across somebody at Walmart and I just bought from them. And, and they don't even answer the phone. Or I just referred everybody I know to this person and they didn't, and they're not even part of Shield Nation. So we want to be able to share that with everybody that we know, so that way we can benefit from the R3 system as well. So again, I would be willing to bet that my education was actually a lot more than tens of thousands, because I didn't implement this system fast enough. I wish I would have had somebody explain to me how this works as easily as it says here. I'm going to play the video real quick and you guys can check it out for yourself. And then we'll go back to Miss Karen Irish. You can answer some questions. It looks like we finished up a little bit earlier. So this is just a real quick video. Let me go ahead and.
Hello there, Shield Nation family. This is Darcy Hoffman coming to talk.
Let me see if I can get it a little louder.
Family to family, heart to heart, about how to increase production. I want to look at what I did is I went over all 2015's top recruiters versus top sellers, because the concept is, how do we become a high performance organization? Is it through strictly recruiting and taking a blind eye to selling, or is it strictly selling and not even thinking about recruiting? And I say it's both. So I'm going to show you what our $100 million mentor taught us. And I think if you apply this, actually, I don't think it. I'm going to show you that it will 300% increase in your team's production. Interested? Pay attention. All right, so this is what happened. Recruiters are the purple. All right, and so I went to the top 50, top 50 recruiters in all of Shield Nation, and I looked at the number of months those top recruiters hit ED, and they hit ED about 69 times. All right, then I went to the people that also sell, and I looked at all of the months, all of the top 50 made ED, and the number was almost 200. So that is a 300% more EDs, numbers of EDs, numbers of associates hitting ED than those that are just focused on recruiting. So what is happening and why is that happening? Let's take a closer look. We want to teach you a concept called R3. This is what we're using in Knoxville. It's blowing and going. It's creating EDs and high production. And you know what? Guess what? We get paid on the memberships we sell in our organization. So if I recruit 10 people and they don't ever sell a membership, or I recruit 10 people and they're taught to sell memberships, let's say they each sell 10, that's 100 sales I'm overriding. If I recruit 10, I recruited 10, but they don't sell anything, that's like 0. All right, except for the membership they usually get. But if they're not taught how to go out to the marketplace and expand their business, their local market, and serve and sell and share and talk about the value of what we offer, and they're just recruit, money, they're going to be gone. And I think you've experienced that. So we need to have a better plan. So yes, we definitely are in the recruiting business, absolutely. But we want a foundation that actually sticks and stays and produces high performance. So this is it, R3. How it works is behind every prospect. If I went to this prospect and my only thought was, hey, I got a business. Hey, you should look at this business. Hey, I'm looking for people. And if this prospect is not interested in a business, but I don't think to protect his family, I don't think that all the people he also knows that are not him directly, this is a 1-to-1 ratio. If I just talk to him with one intention, recruiting, but if I open up my possibilities and I talk to that prospect about who he knows that might be interested in my business, about protecting him as a family, and also who he knows that would also benefit from our service, or even check this one out, group accounts. Behind every prospect are more customers, group accounts, and recruits. So if I approach this individual and they're not interested in the business, but they give me referrals to group accounts, people that are interested in looking for an opportunity, and also other families that would be wanting a service like this, I win, 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 multiple wins, huge opportunities, huge growth. But if I just say, nope, he's not interested, next, and I miss all of the hundreds of people he knows, and I do not tap into that, that's not smart. And that's going to make me very, very exhausted. So what we want to do is we want to maximize every presentation, every opportunity. And that's how you can get a surge in your membership production. So let's take a closer look. R3 will create a surge. R3 is when satisfied customers, you presented the service, and behind that satisfied customer uncovers recruits, group accounts, and even more customers. So R3, by doing 3 questions, we call it R3, referrals to the power of 3, you're going to get more sales, more recruits, and more groups, rather than one possibility that they may be interested in your business or not. All right, so let's compare results. Here's the first 20 days of an associate. So follow me. Here's a recruit to recruit program versus build with the R3 program. So number of prospects presented to, we're going to say 2 a day for 20 days. That's 40 for the recruit to recruit, and that's 40 for the build with R3. Number of sales here, because they only look for recruits, we're gonna assume each one's gonna get 5 new associates out of their 40 presentations. So they only get 5 sales because they only look for recruits, where they've sold and made a membership presentation to 40 people. So they get 50% close, which is 20 sales. And out of those 20 sales, because they do R3 and ask, hey, we're looking for people to expand our business, 5 people say, I would like to be part of your team. So they both get the 5 recruits. That does not change, but the 20 sales only comes when you ask the referrals to the power of 3. Now, how many groups did this person get? This philosophy that we're just looking for people who want to do the business or get in the business, that kind of thing. Recruit only. 0. They didn't even ask the question. Over here, it's massive opportunity. And I can tell you, that's what grew Knoxville, because everybody knows somebody who owns a company and has employees. So massive opportunity. I can't even put a number on that because that gets big, 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 big. All right. So then we go to the number of referrals. Well, in the recruit to recruit, you're not looking for referrals. You're only looking for recruits. So you're missing that too. 0. All right. Over here, if you had 40 people, the average 3 referrals per person was your goal, which it should be higher, but let's say 3 times 40 presentations, you got 120 referrals of additional customers and such. All right, income, the difference between that, averaging $100 a sale. You got the 5 sales because you got 5 recruits, woo, woo, you got your 80 points and all that stuff. And you think that's good, but you didn't make any money, okay? Over here, you got $2,000. Now, this is just the beginning. This is just level 1. Now, these 5 recruits here duplicate you. Uh-oh. So in those 5, you go to do 40 presentations and you get 5. And this person goes to get 40 presentations. So you get 5 new recruits. They're going to both duplicate, but this person's going to duplicate presentations. And this one's just going to look for 5 more recruits. Now you've got 40 presentations times 5 new associates, 200 presentations each. But because they only get the sales of who comes in the business, they got 25 sales because they have and 5 people got 5 recruits, 5 people got 5 recruits. So they each have 5 recruits on theirs after they duplicate. But this one, because they do 200 presentations, get a 50% close, are looking to protect a family and then do R3, not just singly ask if you're interested in the business. They get 100 sales, massive group referrals, massive referrals. And look at the difference in overrides, assuming that this person as making an average of 100. You can adjust this, but 2,500, the bottom line is this is 25%. This is 25% of the income that this person is making. And that is why I believe that people out there are not hitting ED, because I'm seeing ED happen in Knoxville, but I'm not seeing it in some of our great leaders out there. And I think you've missed this foundation. Okay, this is building your business on a solid foundation that pays and pays and pays and grows your business. All right, so here's kind of all it is. R3 is simply this: 3 questions to get 3 times the volume in your business. So these are the 3 questions. So simple. You make a presentation. Who do you know that would benefit from our service? That equals more personal and small business sales. What companies do you know that care about their employees? 2. That equals group accounts and employee benefit sales. Who doesn't want more of that? And if you don't do group, not a problem. Partner with somebody. Don't make this so crazy. I'm in the business of opening up the market and selling memberships and recruiting people that will sell memberships. Whether somebody sells into this division or that division, doesn't matter to me. I'm marketing memberships through people. And so if I ask this company, this presentation, this person I'm talking to, what company do they know? Oh, I know so-and-so, they own a company with 20 employees. So-and-so owns a plumbing company. So-and-so owns this. And oh my gosh, thank you. They would love that. And they care about their employees. Oh my gosh, that's great. You know, and so I get those referrals, and then I call up Riel Hoffman, or call Laura Barker or Katie Huff or somebody out there that knows that side of the business, because I don't want to do that. That's fine. But by referring that customer over and getting the appointment, going with them, you get 50% of those sales. So if 40 people say yes, you get 20 sales added to your membership overrides. And so does everybody on your team, because everybody's doing this. So the key is, when you ask this question, you don't have to do group. Okay, it's just smart. It's maximizing opportunity. The third one: who do you know that likes to help people and make money? Well, this is your obvious recruiting question, and that way you don't put the pressure on the person. But if the person isn't interested, they can refer somebody to you, and that way your friends don't go, "Oh, you're pushy, and I don't want to have anything to do with this," because you didn't ask them. You asked who they knew, and then they can say, "Well, what about me? This sounds really good. This is really simple. You use the consumer folder to present. It was so simple. I could see myself doing this. This looks fun. I love the product. I use it. I can see the value. I can think of a lot of people that could use this." And then they say, "What about me? I'd like to be part of it." So you still get the recruit when you use the R3 program, but you also get additional customers to sell to and additional companies to serve as well. All right, so this is what it looks like. Bottom line, let's say your first 20 days, you did your 40 presentations, 20 sales. So that's just 2 a day. Here's the 20 days. Here's exactly 20 days. Anybody can do this. This isn't not for the full-timers. This is anybody can do that. Just add R3 to whatever you're doing right now. Just add R3 and you can triple your business and your override. So 40 presentations, 20 sales, 5 new recruits, 120 referrals. That's what we want in 20 days. That's the Shield Nation concept for building a high performance team. All right, R3 will create a surge, satisfied customers, uncover, recruits, group accounts, and even more customers. Aren't you ready for a surge?
Awesome. All right. See, and I didn't even need to, I couldn't have said it better myself. Sorry for the blur if it was a little bit blurry, but amazing. And that's so easy to follow that even a Spanish teacher could follow that. The R3 system is amazing, and all you got to do is check it out. It's on the shieldnation.com, and you can go right to the training resources and go over it. But think about it, you know, how many of us have been passing up, you know, those kind of referrals that are right there in front of us, and who doesn't want to explode their business 300% by using this R3 system? It's right there. So with that, I think I'm right on time. I'll go ahead and hand the call right back over to Miss Karen Irish Borrego. And appreciate it. Who's fired up about R3 and wants to go to Jamaica? Me. All right, cool. Back to you.
That's it. And thank you so much, Paul. That was great. And I encourage all of you to go to shieldnation.com and have all your associates watch that. That is a really great example. I get lots of referrals. So